Does an enlightened being have a passport to heaven? Somebody asked me this question. And every day I send you an image. I hope you got the image. Does an enlightened being have a passport to heaven? What do you think? The moment you are enlightened, Siddha, straight to God. Is it like that?
There is no heaven except for the enlightened soul, I think.
There is no heaven.
There is no heaven and hell.
Heaven, when we talk in the enlightenment language, dear Sudeep, when we talk about heaven, we talk about becoming one with God. So there is heaven. It is not a physical place, but there is heaven. There is Ananda. There is Satchidananda. Okay? So whenever we talk of a heaven, please don't say there is no. Now, if you are sitting like this in Grindelwald, is it like heaven or it's not like heaven? When I sit down in Grindelwald, it's like I'm in heaven. But this heaven is different. The heaven is that we are talking about is Ananda. Does the enlightened being have a passport to heaven? Which means, does the enlightened being automatically become one with God? Anybody would like to take this question from my side? Anybody?
So then the enlightened soul will realize that he himself is God. So, I mean, so he becomes God himself because he realizes that the body is nothing and whatever is left out is nothing but God only. So he is in heaven. Going by that way, yes, he is in heaven because he becomes
so united. Does he have a passport to heaven? Yes or no?
A passport in the worldly sense means that you have to go to a different country. But no, here it will not be a different country.
A passport means that does the enlightenment soul have a document that he can straight away go to heaven? Does he have authorization? Does he have an okay? It was sometimes I'm very creative in my way of putting things. My question reframed in simple language: does an enlightened soul or a realized soul or being have authority to become one with God?
So enlightened soul is already in heaven because he is totally one with God already. So he has heaven within himself.
Correct. So you say he has, right? According to you, he has.
Yes.
He is already in heaven.
Okay.
Shivoham.
An enlightened being is not confined to a particular place or time. So he requires nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, literally. So the question of obtaining a passport does not arise.
Okay. So I think, I am sorry, but I think let me reframe the question. All right. This question was put in my old vocabulary when I was not AiR. I'm reframing the question and requesting your inputs. I'm reframing the question. Does an enlightened being automatically become one with God? I'm reframing the question. And please reattempt the answer. Does an enlightened being automatically unite with God? Please answer.
He is eligible to be united. On bodily death, he gets united.
Good answer. Please don't forget your answer. I will be coming back to your answer. So Girish says he is privileged to, at death, he will be automatically united with God. Continue, please. Who else wants to? Sudeep Bhargava, would you like to reattempt it?
Yes, sir. In your words, unification will take place after the death of the mortal body. So you, yeah. So that's, I mean, just what Girishji said. I'm just using a different word. Unification will take place after the death.
So realized being will be, again, I'm putting the question: will a realized being automatically be unified with God at death? And your answer is
yes.
Okay. Next, anybody else wants to answer with a different perspective?
My answer is yes. Shiva.
So you also
because
agree?
Enlightened being is enlightened.
This becomes like Amar Akbar Anthony.
Already enlightened.
Amar Akbar Anthony. 1, 2, 3. Tino ka 3 is going. Anybody else has a different opinion?
Guruji,
Uh-huh.
I feel that enlightened soul is in heaven, whether he is in he is living, or whether the person is dead and become a soul. It is all, he's already in heaven,
Okay. Anybody
already in
else?
peaceful situation.
Last one or two more minutes.
Shivoham Pranam Guruji.
Kiran, show him. Kiran, give me your answer.
Guruji, I feel after death, enlightenment, if one gets enlightenment, it's natural. But one should have enlightenment while he is alive. Person is alive. So I think enlightened person is unified with God when he is alive only.
Okay.
He is
Anybody
in
has a
heaven.
different answer? All of you are giving. Anybody has a different answer?
Death is only for the body, sir.
Krishna
Sir,
Sharma?
death is only for the body.
Correct.
The moment he is enlightened, he is able to see the God in each and every particle in the universe.
Very good.
So he is merged with God already. Only thing is still living. That's all.
Okay.
After liberation.
Let me now give you a perspective on this. That's why I asked the question. An enlightened being knows I am not the body, mind, I am not the ego, I am the divine soul. Correct, Kumar Swami? A person knows like this. Therefore, what all of you said is absolutely correct. What you all said, that at death, starting Girish, Sudeep, Rajendra Makwana, Kiran, everybody, I think even Tanu, Krishna Sharma. But I have a little different perspective. And because I have to guide you on this path, I have to share my different perspective. The enlightened being has a passport in my language, but he has no visa. He has a passport, but he has no visa, which means when he lands in that country, he can be refused entry. Now, let me tell you in the reframed words. Suppose today Ashok Chotwani is enlightened. Ashok Chotwani is enlightened. So, Ashok, with your permission, I'm saying this. Suppose today Ashok Chotwani is no more. Suppose Ashok Chotwani is no more. As per your answer, he should automatically become one with God. Correct? All of you are, I hope you are all clear. But suppose Ashok Chotwani is realized, enlightened person, but he gets a call from Taliban. And he tells the Taliban tell Ashok Chotwani, we have decided to make you president of Afghanistan. So you please come now and we are making you the president of Afghanistan. Because we think that you are the best Talibani. So Ashok Chotwani now goes to the palace of the Afghanistan palace in Kabul, and he becomes one amongst the Taliban. Then if he dies, then what happens? Then will he become one with God? My point to all of you is this. I have a point to make. I'm making a point. The point I'm making, my dear friends, is that while we may be enlightened, the challenge to become one with God is only provided we remain enlightened and we do not lose our enlightenment till the moment of death. This part you all did not say. So all of you must change your answer slightly by saying, because an enlightened person can get carried away. An enlightened person can get carried away by the most beautiful girl. And I can give you an example of Osho. I can give you an example of Osho. To me, Osho seemed to be an enlightened person. Then why was Osho lost in Rolls Royce and Rolex watches? Why was he lost? For what reason? No, I'm not making a judgment. I'm not giving you a judgment on anybody. But I'm trying to make you understand that an enlightened person can fall down, can drop dead in women, wealth, and wine. If a person falls in the trap, I'm using the word trap, of woman, wealth, and wine, then he will not become one with God. He has to come back. Open to question answer session. Thank you. Who's it? Jyotri. The first question is from Jyotri. Clarify dreaming and waking state. Are they both the same and real, as both are state are experienced by me? Jyotri, you know very well, right? The waking state is the state of apprehension. We can touch and feel. The dreaming state is a state of misapprehension. In the dream, you may think you are married somebody, but you are not married. It's only a dream. Suppose today I feel, and last night I married Aishwarya Rai. So tomorrow morning I cannot go to the house and tell Aishwarya Rai, come on, let us go for honeymoon. How can I tell? Because it's only a dream. It's not possible. So Jyotri, I just gave you an example that waking state and dream state are not the same. They are different. Although in the ultimate analysis, for the realized being who reaches the state of Chaturya, both are mithya. Waking state also is mithya and dream state also is mithya. But in the Jagrat state and the Swapna state, as we are living in this Leela, there is a difference. So if you have any more clarity, you can ask me the question. In the meanwhile, we can move to the next question, please. Sudeep Bhargava. Sudeep Bhargava.
Yes, sir. Shivam, sir.
Shivam, bolo.
Sir, one, again, I'll take an example that you had taken, that if you know where your nose is, you will never forget where the nose is.
Correct.
So my question is, can enlightened person really slip back into the samsara? Because once you were told that it doesn't happen.
I gave you example of Osho. Have you seen Osho's videos? Have you seen?
No, I never saw his videos. I just know.
Please see. Then you will see. Okay, forget about Osho. Now suppose I'm taking your example. Suppose you are completely enlightened. You believe me, whatever I say, if you are enlightened, you believe you will be in Satchidanand. Any doubt? If you realize you are not the body, mind, ego, you have any doubt that you will be in a state of mukti and you will be getting moksha? Any doubt?
Yes, I should. Yeah.
But before that, before you die, if suppose somebody gives you, some Talibani gives you ganja, and you start having ganja, and you forget the importance of God, and you get lost, and then after ganja you start having drugs and you start having drinks, and then will you still get enlightened? Will you still become one with
Definitely
God?
not. Definitely not, sir.
This is the point to understand.
My only doubt was, sir, that if I am really enlightened, will I fall back?
You can.
Okay, that was my doubt. Okay.
So therefore my guru used to tell. Therefore my guru used to say that the enlightened being must always walk with the sword of discrimination on his head. You should carry a sword all the time. The sword of discrimination should be there, not to make a mistake. I used to occasionally have a sip of some sweet liquor, like Bailey's, some sweet liquor. I'm very fond of coffee. So sometimes I used to have what is called Irish coffee, a coffee with a little bit of liquor. I try my best not to even touch a drop of it. Because the moment I have a drop of liquor, the discrimination of the mind goes, Jhum barabar, jhum sharabi, jhum barabar. You cannot then make the right decision. You can take khoob sharab piyo. Drink as much you want to drink. Don't talk about enlightenment. A person who is a drunkard cannot be enlightened. A person who is a drug addict cannot be enlightened.
Agreed.
A person who
100%.
takes ganja, a person who takes these people, yogis who live in the hills in Himalayas taking ganja, sorry, they cannot be enlightened. I'm sorry, they
100%.
cannot be enlightened. Next
True,
question, please. Girish. Shivam, Girish.
In the background of today's topic, when the metamorphosis happens,
Yes, Girish. When the metamorphosis happens, you're asking, that's the question. When the metamorphosis happens, the person who was metamorphized must make sure that they do not return to that state. They can't. What technically what you're saying, metamorphosis, butterfly cannot become caterpillar. But in the state of this Jivan Mukta, it's a little delicate. Okay, let me ask you a direct question, Girish. Take your example. You become metamorphized. You become Atma in Girish. You are completely Atma. But the most beautiful girl in the world comes in front of you. Is there a chance for you to slip or not?
I never touched any aspect of enlightenment, so I cannot say now.
So I'm telling you, as a person who has realized some truth, I'm telling you that you can slip. Because let me tell you why. No, let me explain to you why. Not Sudeep, I can't just tell you some statement and not explain to you. So let me tell you why, Sudeep. Ready? Girish. Because in a metamorphosis of a human being, the mind and ego is still not dead. The metamorphosis of a caterpillar, the caterpillar is dead. But in the metamorphosis of the human being, the mind and ego is not dead. You agree with me or you don't agree with me?
Agree.
So the mind and ego can fall. Can fall. Be careful. My job is to advise you. My job is to warn you. Tomorrow I may not be here, Girish. I may not be here tomorrow, but you should remember, you should keep the sword of discrimination up like this. Savdhan, attention, like that. Next question, please. Dattatray.
हाँ, शिवम सर.
Sure.
Uh,
Bola, sir.
with the help of affirmations to the subconscious mind, can we get self-realization?
Just by using affirmation, very difficult.
Nice.
Because let me explain to you why. I told you, you all should not accept my answer so easily. Yeah? If I
Okay.
ask, you should not accept. You should say, no, we don't agree. I don't agree. Please, you have to question me. That is the meaning of ask care. You have to question. You can't accept.
Okay.
So now, Dattatray,
Yeah.
just by you are saying, just by affirmation can we get self-realization? Correct? This is your question.
Yes.
Then you can get self-realization by online class. No, why you need any guru? Right or wrong? You sit on
Right.
Amazon.com. Amazon.com, $1,000 enlightenment class. Enlightenment class, Amazon.com says, Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare, Hare. Affirm 100 times, 1,000 times. You will become self-enlightened. You think it's possible?
No, sir.
That's why in the Upanishads, they say enlightenment cannot be possible. That's right. Enlightenment cannot be possible without guru.
Yeah, I see.
Because unless the guru takes you from gu to ru, unless the guru shows you the light inside, just by repeating any mantra, don't think it is possible. That may be a good aid. That may be a good assistant to help you to go on the path. I'm not telling that affirmation is not good. I didn't say like that. But just by affirmation, no chance. You need karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga. You need viveka, vairagya, shat shampat, mumukshutva. If you don't have these prerequisites, you cannot.
I get
Kumar
that.
Swami. I hope it's clear,
Yes.
Dattatray.
Yes, I understand.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dattatray. Kumar Swami.
Guruji.
Kumar Swami.
Yes, sir. Actually, the enlightened person, when he at the time of enlightenment, the ego will be dissolved in the divine soul. So there will not be again coming back return. Definitely, after once I realize it means definitely he will not come back as the ego and mind will not be there for him.
Who told you?
He will be enlightened, that's all. He will not come back.
Who told you?
I have gone through this Adi Shankaracharya, one Atma Bodha. What he said is, if you clean your body, today you are clean your body, tomorrow again you have to clean your body. If you clean your mind, today you are doing a japa, means again you have to do japa. But if you once your jiva will become deva, God, he will not need not to do again and again. Once it has been unenlightened, means it is enlightened, that's all. So he has given in the Adi Shankaracharya, I have read 1 month back, I think. Now I recollected that. That's what I am arguing. That
no. So you might have read something in some perspective, but if you want to know the truth, I'm explaining to you, Kumar Swami, and you're a very logical person. So I'm explaining to you. As long as a man is alive, I'm asking question to you. Can the mind be dead?
ego is dead, sir.
No,
Ego will
can
be
the
not,
mind,
ego,
as long as a man is alive, can the mind be dead?
mind dead.
If a man is alive, can the mind be dead? The man is alive, but the mind is dead. Is it possible?
He will he will witness the mind, but he will not go according to the mind. He will witness only.
This is not possible. I am explaining to you, the mind cannot stop thinking. The mind can be led by the intellect to do good thinking. You can be sthit pragya. You can be jivan mukta. You can control the mind, but you cannot kill the mind. Point one. Point number two. The moment you are alive, the ego cannot be dead, cannot be dissolved. The ego can only dissolve at the moment of death. You can transcend the ego. You can control the ego. You can go beyond the ego. But remember this, Kumar Swami, M-E, mind and ego. See, they may say in a different angle. Please understand the angle. You can make the mind and ego as good as dead. You can make the mind and ego as good as dead,
Dead.
but you cannot kill them.
Okay, what I mean to say is, he will be witnessing, that's all. He will become a sakshi of that. That's all.
Correct, correct. But the moment you slip, the moment if
There
you
is no
slip,
chance. See, there is no chance of sleeping, because once
no,
he
no,
attain means, he will be no chance
no,
of
no,
sleeping.
no, no. This is a fairy tale. What you are telling is not reality. I am telling you the reality. You want reality or you want fairy tale?
I want reality.
Reality means, Kumar Swami, even though we are enlightened, we have to have the viveka. Viveka buddhi must be like this, like a sword. Any moment the mind or the ego comes, no, parak, kill it. Parak. You have to cut it. And it will come. I am telling you, for every realized soul, it will come. So it's my duty to warn you. Please be careful.
Okay.
And please read which book you're reading. Please send me that screenshot and I will read one chapter, next chapter, and tell you he will change. See, wait. Let me explain to you very good, okay? So in the scripture, it's an interesting point. Everybody please pay attention. It said in the scripture, first they say, if you want moksha, what they say? If you want moksha, please remember point number one, you are not the body. Huh? You are not the body. You are the mind and the ego, me. Body will die and you will be reborn in a new body. Chapter 1. Chapter 2, they say, if you want enlightenment, remember, you are not the mind and ego. You are the divine soul. How they change from one chapter to second chapter. In the first chapter, they are telling, if you want enlightenment, you are not body, you are mind and ego. Do good karma. Second chapter, if you want enlightenment, you are not mind and ego, you are Atma. No karma. Because it is like building a building. When you want to build a building with two floor house, you cannot build second floor till you build first floor.
Yes.
First you must build first floor, then you must build second floor. So the first point is to tempt people. to attract people by telling what you have to attract people by telling. Once you are enlightened, oh, mind and ego will be completely dissolved. Finished. First floor over. First floor building is over. Then you build second floor. What is the second floor? Hello, be careful, huh? Be careful. If the mind and ego comes back, building can fall. So be careful. Rajendra Makwan. Thank you, Kumar Swami. And I may be wrong. You are welcome to correct me. You can come back tomorrow with the scripture and the book, and we will again have discussion. I have to speak the truth. I have to guide you with the truth. I will not compromise. No compromise. Rajendra Makwana.
Shivoham AiR,
Show him, sir.
when you were having a conversation with Girish, some thinking was running in my mind. So I want to do the loud thinking here.
Yes.
That with a lot of conviction, I want to say that I will never slip by. I have a very strong discrimination sword with me. That's all.
So I am happy to hear that you have a strong and you will never slip. You said you will never slip, right?
Never.
Yeah. But Rajendra, be conscious of the fact that there will be temptations till your last moment. I'm telling you from my personal experience. I'm telling you from my personal experience. And I'm also being so honest with you all that I tell you that you don't have to stop from pleasure. Have I told you all? I am not like somebody which tell you all, "Arey sab kuch tyag kar do, kuch mat khao, kuch mat piyo, kuch mat karo." No. If I tell you don't drink, I tell you the reason why you should not drink.
Yeah.
Sanjay Das, have you understood why you should not drink alcohol? Have you understood, Sanjay Das? Tell me, Sanjay Das, why we should not drink alcohol? Sanjay Das, can you please tell me?
Sir, our brain will get disturbed, and that state we lose from our
It happens, right?
consciousness.
Occasionally, have you had a beer or wine in life? Have you drunk or
Yes,
you never
yes,
drunk?
yes.
What happens when you get that kick in your head?
We get a kick.
You are like, you
Kick
can't
and
You
then-
won't be able to discriminate.
correct. You cannot discriminate. Therefore, you have to be very careful. That is my only point.
Yes.
Thank you. Next question,
Thank you
please.
so much.
Krishna Sharma, sir, come back again.
Shivam,
Krishna
sir.
Sharma. Yes, sir.
In my view, Maya is only creating the separation of mind, body, and ego. Body, mind, and ego. Maya will.
How did you start? No, how did you start?
In my view, as per
In
my
my-
view,
As per you.
in
huh?
my view,
In my
okay.
In my view, yes, I could get that.
Mind is only creating the separation of body, mind, and ego.
Okay.
But once the enlightenment happens, he will go above the Maya. The Maya, he will not worry about the Maya, even though he is aware of the body, mind, and ego. He will not indulge in any of those activities,
So therefore,
whether I am right or wrong.
no. See, you are right in one way. I am not. What you are saying is correct because you are saying. Let me interpret what you are saying.
Yeah.
The moment you are enlightened, let us look behind me. What do you see behind me, Krishna Sharma? You can see something behind me. What do you see?
I will see the trees and hill, but you are not seeing the trees and hills. You are seeing
No,
the
no.
God in them.
But I also see the trees and the hills, but I see them as one.
Correct.
It's not that I am seeing something else. So what I'm trying to make you
No.
understand.
That all I am
Our
telling.
eyes-
Even
Yeah.
after enlightenment, sorry, sir. That's why I am repeating again. After enlightenment, the person will be aware of all the things, but he will not indulge those things because he is above the Maya now.
Correct. But the eyes will still see this only. The eyes will still see the trees and the hills. But the Atma.
Correct, but he will not be entangled with those things.
Yeah. For him, nothing matters. So let me give you
Yeah.
let me give a little different perspective. What you're saying, let me give good perspective. Suppose right now I am Sharma. If I am Sharma and I see one good looking thing and one bad looking thing, I will go to good looking and I will not go to bad looking thing. If I am Sharma. But if I
Yes.
become Krishna, good looking,
No
bad
change.
looking makes no difference.
No difference. That all I am telling.
Correct. So I just gave a clear example. You're getting my point, what I'm saying?
Correct.
So anything more on the subject?
No. Then where is the question of falling prey for something there?
The point is
I'm not
that
able
the
to.
moment the Maya comes back, the Maya is not going anywhere. The Maya is there for a reason. Jivan Mukta also.
No,
The
no, sir.
person can
No, sir.
fall prey. See, Krishna Sharma,
No,
understand the
once
point.
the person is enlightened, there will be no Maya for him. He will understand there is Maya, but he will not be get involved by Maya.
Agreed. Now you listen to me. I agree with you. Now you listen to
Yes.
me.
Yes, sir. Yes,
What
sir.
you say technically, theoretically is correct. We keep it on the side. I am not denying what you say. Now the person has got eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin. When these five senses touch something and the mind is activated, the person who is enlightened has a faint, slightest possibility of slipping.
Sir, all he will do the activities as if he is the God, because God is himself has come to his body. So he will not work as a human being. He will work or walk or see everything as a God, not as a human being.
You want theory or you want practical? What you want?
No, practical.
I am telling you theory, what you are saying is correct. Practically, what I am explaining, I am telling you to be careful. See, Krishna Sharma, you are Krishna Sharma, correct? No, give your own example. Krishna Sharma means sometimes you are Krishna, sometimes you are Sharma. That's what makes, see how God only, I didn't give you a name, Krishna Sharma. Did I give you a name? I didn't give. God only is explaining to you now. Please understand what God is telling you. God is telling you, somebody calls Krishna, you'll say yes. Somebody calls Sharma, you'll say yes. How you became both men? How you became Krishna also and Sharma also?
Before enlightenment, everything is possible, sir. After enlightenment, there will be no problem.
What I'm only trying to explain to you is 99% chances are there. Enlightenment person, a truly enlightened person, will be in a state of Satchit Anand. Nothing will happen. He will attain moksha, nirvana. I'm agreeing with all of you. I am only saying there is a small possibility, and for that we should have our vivek, we should have our buddhi alert. We should not, for example, I'm telling, okay, let me give you one. Okay, do you know some story of one? I'll remove the name of that sadhu. One sadhu was there. Now you tell me whether you agree or you don't agree. I'm giving the answer to you. It's coming. See, God gave the answer to me. How God gives answer, you know, no? Simka, directly I get the answer. One sadhu was there. He was the enlightened sadhu. Agreed. One day he went for bhiksham. Bhiksham, they went and ate food. His enemy put drugs in the food. After eating drugs, he went to a prostitute. After going to the prostitute, he never came back from the prostitute. Now you correct me what happened. Now I'm asking you, you correct me now.
I don't know the answer.
No, you understood what I'm telling?
I understood.
This is a real story. That enlightened being had to eat food. He went to eat food. His enemy put drugs in the food. After eating drugs, he has any senses? You blame him. Do you blame he went to a prostitute? You blame him.
No, Buddha was also killed by only poison only. By giving the poison in the food only, Buddha was killed.
Then we don't know. That I heard, I've seen, but I am only giving you the fact of the matter. Please introspect. Sravana, Manana, Nidhi, Dhyasana. I've told you something, you please contemplate. Administrator, last question? Huh? Tanu, last question or some more? Okay, Tanu, that's why you please don't come last minute for question answers. Then in the end, we have no time. Then I cannot continue the question. So some of you in the beginning, we are starting trouble. You don't start with the question answers. Oh, Tanu, please come. Tanu.
Shivoham, Guruji.
Shivoham.
Guruji, I wanted to ask you how to increase one's willpower. Like, I want to grow my nails. I usually eat them. And I also know when I eat them, but still I cannot stop it. So
No,
how
practice.
to increase the willpower?
Abhyasa. Practice, and prayer. Practice and prayer. Both can help. Prayer can help. You pray and you practice. You pray and you practice. Both can help. Prayer can give you the energy, and practice will practically make you. There are other creative ways. Once, suppose your nails, you're eating your nails, correct? I know somebody who put the most poisonous thing in the nail. Each time they put the nail in the mouth, they feel like a poison. Then they don't eat the nails. So that is the third. The third answer is a creative method. Last question, anybody?
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Jyotir. Jyotir, last question, please. Let's not go beyond this. Jyotir's question. Jyotri. Jyotri, genuinely and truly, I'm uttering till now in my life, I haven't seen any dream on the topic in person or anything which had not actually happened in my life. What I see has already been experienced in my past day. Suppose I have seen you, so my mind dreams you. But why? Is it just a trick, memory of mind, or something else? A state of misapprehension. What you're saying, genuinely and truly, I'm uttering till now in my mind. I haven't seen any dream on the topic which had not actually happened in my past life. So I cannot comment. Your this needs a full discussion, Jyotri, because you're saying that whatever you dream, either you're saying it's your past life or it's something that you have experienced in your present life, but this needs a detailed discussion. My friends, so we can take it up tomorrow. I want to tell you today the reason I brought up the subject of does the enlightened being have a passport to heaven? Nobody has a passport to heaven. Till you are your last breath, till you are breathing your last breath, you have to be alert. You have to be very sharp, and you have to work towards being a good yogi, a true yogi. So maybe tomorrow we should touch the subject, who is a true yogi? I don't know whether I've spoken to you many times before, but this is the challenge. योगी जो योग में सदा ही रहे, प्रभु के योग में रहे. But more of it tomorrow because I've taken too much of your time today. With that note, I bow down, I thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. God bless you.